Not so fast. All right, you're clear. The adjutant's expecting you. Go on through.
I see you haven't been shot to pieces by the guards. Do you have an appointment? Of course. You're that curious spacer Mr. Bedford mentioned. Just a moment, please. Madam Adjutant, Bedford's contact has arrived. Shall I clear your schedule?
No, thank you, Percival. I doubt this will take long. I'm Sophia Akande, adjutant to the chairman. What could possibly have given you that impression? Did you imagine you could purchase your way into the office of our Honorable Chairman Rockwell just by greasing Bedford's palms? Only 6 to 8 weeks? You have a generous opinion of our bureaucracy. Chairman Rockwell is a busy man. For the time being, you're stuck dealing with me. I've been reading all about you. This dossier from Emerald Vale was especially incorrect. I have a file on everyone. I have a file on Percival here. You wouldn't believe what he gets up to during private hours. I've been keeping up with you ever since Emerald Vale. Now that was an interesting piece of work. A rundown backwater, barely worth the ink on a map. Until you showed up. You walked through Edgewater and in your wake transformed it from a loyal company town to a haven for dissidents. I'm actually a little impressed. Anyone with eyes can see that you're talented, but you're also unpredictable. I don't like unpredictable. I happen to like women with a working spine. I just haven't decided if I'm willing to trust you yet. I have a job for you. One of our cartographers needs to be retired. I want you to carry it out. If you're afraid of bloodying your hands, feel free to wear gloves. Rachel Lockwood, cartographer for the Bureau of Exploration. She's done some sensitive work for us, but now she's a loose end. Lockwood has to go. Get rid of her. Bring me her work. Then we'll talk about Dr. Wells. Don't take too long. There's another freelancer working this job. He doesn't have your skill, but nonetheless. We've hired outside contractors before. There's another freelancer working this job, but he's been dragging his heels. Dependable and competent freelancers are hard to come by. For your own sake, I hope you prove to be the exception and not the rule. I'll tell you what I can. Let's not mince words. Wells is a dangerous criminal and a lunatic. He's earned every bit of his bounty. I know you're eager to collect on that bounty. Deal with Lockwood, then we'll talk. It isn't as if we're executing Lockwood for mislabeling a river on a map. It isn't what she's done, but what she knows that forces our hand. The nature of Lockwood's work was sensitive, confidential, and concerns the future of Halcyon. I can't risk leaving her alive. I suppose I could, but then you'd be a loose end, and neither of us want that. Precisely. I'd be obliged to send assassins after you. You'd likely kill them, thereby obliging me to send more. I don't need that kind of paperwork. Excellent. Percival will handle your paperwork for you.
Apologies for the wait. I was arranging my stationery. Personal assistant to Adjutant Akande and Chairman Rockwell. I'm also responsible for organizing the adjutant's stationery, which is more of a hobby. Quite so. I owe the honor of my current position to a reputation for discretion, and also my family's connections. Will there be anything else?
A UDL security attendant is always...
We've arrived at Phineas's orbital lab.
I hope you're not thinking of ingratiating yourself with the board. Chairman Rockwell and his cronies are not your friends. They might tempt you with promises of wealth, but don't be fooled. They're just using you for their own ends. What's on your mind? Absolutely. Let's talk. Oh, goodness, no. I wouldn't survive 10 seconds in the blackness of the aether. Well, no, I imagine I'd last at least 12 seconds before I'd lose consciousness and die of hypoxia. Are you still annoyed at me for launching you into space? That was in the past. I've long since moved on. To answer your question, I'd rather stay right here in my lab. There's too much work to be done. The Hope's colonists won't revive themselves, you know. Because we've lost our way, the board has a stranglehold over this colony, and we've all been conditioned into total obedience. The Hope is full of specialists, scientists, engineers, talented individuals like you, people who haven't been corrupted by the board. Unfortunately, the Hope's colonists have been frozen for decades, well past your shelf life, so to speak. No offense. Precisely. The chemical I need is dimethyl sulfoxide, rare, potent, essential to reviving long-frozen bodies. 10 years. That's how long the average human can remain in hibernation. You were frozen for decades. In theory, you never should have survived the revival process. But the conventional theories are wrong. You're living proof that it can be done. There's yet hope for the hope. Right. So much for banter, eh? I'd best get back to work. Oh, I can feel my last dose of caffeinoid fading. Armored glass? Not bad, eh?
Captain, if you're looking for crew members Ellie or Felix, they're sharing... We are now in orbit above Byzantium, Captain.
Sure, they look fancy, but inside, they're just marble and existential emptiness.
Today marks a monumentous occasion in the course of Halcyon history. After a deep and thorough examination of our budgets, revenue streams, and predictability, models, we are publishing
All right, how does this sound?
Welcome. Welcome to the Byzantium office of... Bureau. Bureau of Exploration. Never mind who I am. Well, hey there. What can I do for you? Damn, fine, you got me. I ain't a receptionist. Truth be told, I'm glad you know. Lying to a stranger weighs heavily on my spirit. I was hired to cross off Ms. Lockwood. Thought I'd pose as her receptionist. Brilliant, right? Thing is, she ain't shown up in ages. So here we are. Ha! Hope you don't mind a bit of competition. May the best receptionist win. Perish the thought. I don't just waltz about murdering who I please. I am a professional. I have got standards. Hey, I tried to convince him to take a vacation. He wasn't hearing it. Some people's work ethic is just too strong for their own good. I'm gonna wait for her to return. Tell you what, you find out where she is, you let me know, yeah? As a professional courtesy. Then we can both have at it. And whoever killed... What are promises between a pair of hired killers, anyway? What's on your mind, friend? Knock yourself out. Let me know if you find anything. I'd appreciate it if you could keep this whole assassin thing
I'm afraid I can't come down anymore.
I'm on my legally allotted break. Really? Oh, what are you doing here? Laws, I knew it! You got me. I'm caught, aren't I? I work in the lab at the Ministry of Accuracy and Morale. Some of my sprats went missing, but it's not my fault, okay? Maybe I let them out more often than regulations allow, but they need to stretch their little legs. And so what if I occasionally forgot to latch their cage? Everyone gets a little distracted now and then. They escaped, and before I could coax them back, they'd made their way to the maintenance tunnels. Even if I did dare go down there, they're among all the common sewer sprats, Really? In that case, take this collection crate. 6 of my little ones are down there, but don't worry, you can easily tell them apart from common sewer sprats. They have intelligent eyes, an agreeable yet reserved demeanor, and a fondness for hiding. Also, they're white rather than green. Please, Do take care, and do mime the exterminator mechanicals. If the worst should happen to my little darlings, well, I still want their bodies. For science, of course. To deal with the sewer sprats, of course. They're quite the nuisance. I still am. After all, I'm a person of very little influence and only middling prospects. No one does favors for free. But I must say, I'm far too distressed to think critically about your suspiciously kind offer.
Get away from me! Were you following me? Back off, all right? I've got a slide rule and I didn't know what I was doing, all right? I didn't even do anything. All I did was look at a few maps. You're not? Why not? I mean, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Just make sure Akande doesn't hear about it, or she's putting a hit out on us next.
I'm not gonna cause any trouble for the board, I swear. You won't hear a word out of me. I'll just disappear.
Another fighting me.
Unexpected. Performing.
Make him my kind of act. How about that?
hoping we could bring him home. You'd let me have a giant sprat, right, Captain? So long as I fed it?
Any luck finding my sprats? Truly? Why, this is marvelous! And all safe and sound. Oh, Reginald, Philippa, Vonda, Haroon, Iskander, Evelyn, I'm never letting you out of my sight again! Please, take this. It's not much, but it's the best I can offer for the safe return of my darlings. Now, I've got to get back to the lab before my supervisor logs my absence.
Out with it, you wretched contract.
Nice thing about traveling with the captain. We meet all sorts of new people.
Sure, best part is when they pay us.
We never really had new folks in Edgewater, except the captain. Kinda hard to make new friends when everyone's already decided they don't like you.
Could be a favor in disguise. A lot of people out here ain't that nice.
Do we really need all this security? I have to go through 3 checkpoints just to take a bathroom break.
How may I be of assistance? Wonderful. I'll file the appropriate paperwork on your behalf. Meanwhile, Adjutant Akande would like a word with you.
So it's done. Lockwood is dead. Bradshaw was barely competent. Hiring him was my mistake. You followed my instructions to the letter. It's rare to find a freelancer with the discipline of a soldier. You've demonstrated your talents. If you're ready to talk about Phineas Wells, I'm prepared to listen. I appreciate that you want to drive a bargain. You understand I'm not paying you for anything less than reliable information. Wells had to be in touch with you somehow. Find his communication terminal and send us a tracing signal. Once I verify his location, I'll arrange for your payment. I always reward good work. Deliver Wells to the board, and you'll be more than compensated. Percival will file the appropriate paperwork on your behalf. Once you've sent a tracking signal from Wells's lab, we'll move on to the next step.
As instructed, the code for our secure communication channel. On behalf of the Halcyon Holdings Corporation, I bid you good day. Oh, just a receipt for your services and my receipt for your receipt, and also a standard declaration of intent to perform espionage. I'm flattered beyond description.
Please, would you kindly inform the crew that long chats with Ada are not required every time they... We're now in orbit above Fallbrook, Captain.
Oh gosh, this is so pretty.
You seen Arthur today?
cabin on one of my first ships.
You reckon the smell ever goes away? Maybe the wind off the sea helps.
Ma'am, please, I need your help. I can pay.
Wrap mask and canid eyes, right here.
And the little bastard's slippery, right? On account of its blood, so it's sliding. All over the place, trying to crawl away. Getting so I can't tell the blood from the mud. But I gotta get in there, get right in that baby rap's stomach and dig it out. If so much as a drop of stomach acid got on that medallion, shit, I don't know what I'd do. Might be I'd hunt every damn Rapt out there. Right. What are you staring? Wait. You ain't from around here. If you think this is drunk, I gotta, you need to get out more. Sit, partake, buy me a drink and let's chat. Well. Let's get down to brass nuts then, shall we? Wait, that ain't it. Brass rats? Let's talk business. I'm headed back out there after I sober up. You want a guide sooner than that? You'll have to get me something to clear my head. Oh, you want information for nothing? Very well. I am no match for your your yammering. Here's how to get to Devil's Peak. Go south, along the road, not the river. Look for the mountain with devil horns. And watch out for raps, and mana swarms, and marauders, sulfur pits, and... You know, it'd really be safer if I went with you. You want to reconsider sobering me up? Outstanding! Our dispensary here maintains a stock of, well, I don't rightly know what they are. Steroid or caffeine somethings? Pills. They're very good. I'm cut off for the month, on account of needing one just about every damn day. But I'm sure you've got your whack. Well, they work. We got a deal or what?
Velma seem out of sorts to you?
She's always cranky.
Hello, dearie. Why, I don't believe I've seen you before. And with sweet cheeks like those, I'd remember.
Quite the bedside manner, lady.
Well, it's so rare I get the pleasure of new company. What can Auntie Abigail do for you? And what a helpful young lady you are. Nothing like a little pill to liven up the spirits.
Whiskey helps, too.
Please leave medical advice to the professionals. Now, dearie, who's this pickup for? Oh, her. It's none of my business, but I have told her Dr. Williams would bump up her monthly allotment if only she'd join MSI. Contribute like the rest of us. Now I've gone and said too much. And you know me, dearie. I don't like to pry. I'm afraid it'll be the better part of a month. Our dear Nyoka tends to exhaust her supply rather quickly. Believe me, there's nothing I'd love better than to help you. But there's not much I can do. Dr. Williams managed the town's allotments from his terminal upstairs. Even I can't access them. Oh, you flatter an old woman. Me, I'm just here to be a pretty face for the customers. And to keep an extra key to the supply room for all the times Dr. Williams misplaced his. The one upstairs, where we store our medicines. In the town graveyard, I'm afraid. Poor man was always searching for the flower of enlightenment. On the way, he tried some rather daring substance combinations. It's a philosophist symbol of some kind, dearie. Never you mind. The graveyard's near the southern ruins. You're certainly welcome to pay our respects, but the bodies tend to attract beasties. Do be careful. I'd hate for anything to happen to you, dearie. Chin up, dearie. If Velma's capable of running the warehouse, she can certainly take up a humanoid. If Velma's capable of...
Oh, thank you for stopping. Everyone acts like nothing's wrong, like my little boy isn't at risk of being eaten by some vile creature. Please, you have to help me get my little Tucker back. He ran away and is going to get himself killed. Oh, I just know a raptidon is melting him with acid as we speak.
It's more dissolving than melting.
That is not helpful. Don't you tell me to calm down. I promised my boy I'd protect him for always. But how can I keep him safe if he's run away? He ran out into the wilderness a few days ago. I warned him about the raptidons, mantisaurs, and marauders, the toxic sulfur pools, and poisonous plants, but he didn't listen.
Oh, law, Captain. A youngster won't last long in a place like this. Please, can't we help?
Please, won't you go and find my boy? Well, I guess I can't ask you to leave the town walls for free. It is deathly dangerous out there. I've got some bits saved up for a rainy day. I'll give you every last one if you just bring my Tucker back. Thank you. Oh, I know he'll be safe now that someone's able to fetch him home. You look for him in Amber Heights, you hear? It's down the road southwest of town. I'm sure he made it that far. I just know it. And if you find any of them iconoclasts indoctrinating my boy, you punch them in the mouths. Tell them what I think of them luring little boys away from their mamas. It's immoral.
Whew. Smells like those old Sundays when we'd unload salt tuna shipments at the cannery.
Am I the only one getting hungry?
Feels like the old bits outside of Edgewater. Used up, unneeded, left to settle into ruin.
I got him! I'll fix you right up! That was fun! Don't mess with us! Been practicing this! Here goes nothing! Not bad, huh? Down they go! That does it. Time for a drink?
Well, hello, and welcome to the home of the Iconoclasts. I'm Rose. Please take a pamphlet. In it, you'll find everything you need to know about Graham, his Philosophist truths, and the Iconoclast way. He wrote it himself, you know. Oh no, I'm so sorry. I keep forgetting we're out of pamphlets. Gosh, blast it. Why, we're the only free people in Halcyon. No corporations, no shackles, no problems. Oh, those are just hurdles. We deal with them as they come. You're welcome to stay with us, so long as you can earn your keep. The new boy! Yes, he's quite clever. He took to our teachings very quickly. Last I saw him, he was headed into one of the buildings up the hill.
Seems like a nice little town. Except for all the dead critters.
Looks like I'm not the only new face around here. What do I call you, stranger? Oh, come on. We like to be friendly around here. At the least, let me call you Captain. Whether or not you command a ship, if you've found your way here, you must be a leader type. So then, Captain, welcome to Amber Heights. Oh, and call me Tucker. You here to join the Iconoclasts? Help us free this world? I am not a little boy. Haven't been one for decades, no matter what my mama wishes. I take it she's still looking for me? Had hoped she'd accept my decision. According to her, stepping foot outside of the house in broad daylight is too dangerous. My entire life, she crammed a fear of danger down my throat. Don't go play with friends. Mantisaurs will tear your arms off. Don't leave the city. Raptidons will spit acid on your face. Marauders can violate you. You'd fall in a sulfur pool. I stuck around way too long, ruled by her fears. I'm 42 years old, but she still sees me as a little boy in need of her protection. I won't stand for it, I tell you.
Show up with a bottle of vodka and some real good cusses. That'll show her how much you've grown.
Then she'll think they've brainwashed me into some kind of hooligan. As far as she's concerned, if I make any decision that's not aligned with hers, someone else convinced me. She doesn't want to see me as anything other than her baby boy. Why would I go back again? What'll be different this time? You're right. I can do this. I just need to stand my ground and make her see she can't control me anymore. No one can.
Dr. Ellie.
Hello again. If you want, I can still put your name down for a pamphlet just in case. Wonderful. When we get more in stock, I'll be sure to put some aside for you.
Oh, Captain, you did it! My little boy is back, safe and sound. Tell the Captain how grateful we are, Tuk-Tuk.
Mama, I told you that I'm not staying. I just came back to talk to you about why I left. Then I'm going back to Amber Heights.
Oh, we'll get that silliness sorted out. You're safe here with me, and that's how it's going to stay. Isn't that right? I did, didn't I? Suppose I can't expect you to just be content at a good deed done? No? Well, all right. Here, kind stranger. This is every bit I've scrimped and scraped for years to save.
You're back. Good news? Bad news? All of the above?
Says someone who's never had any fun.
Exactly. See? I'm glad someone on your crew's got some sensible. Got her head on straight. Whew, that hits the spot. Right in the, oh, no, there it is. There it is. Yes. We're in business. Let's go.
That was fast. I gotta see about stalking some on the ship.
You be careful. The first one's free. After that, they'll offer you gainful employment. Great. Where to? Oh, Hiram? I ain't checked in on that man in an age. He's running the giant radio tower we lovingly call Devil's Peak. We'll be going south and west, mostly along the road till we're past Fallbrook. Out there, there's a western slope that'll lead us through some fun. You like hunting, right? That's fun. If you're more of a spelunker, Rotting River will take you into the mountain caverns. We can discuss options when we get closer. That said, 3's already a crowd. I don't mind waiting somewhere until you got a spot open.
I hope you like being part of our crew, Nyoka. We're real excited to have you.
A ship? Well, look at you. I'll find a spot there to call my own for now. Find me when you're ready.
What are the chances of all the times and places we could have been born? Hey, stop!
Captain, if you're looking for crew members Ellie or Felix, we've arrived at Phineas's orbital lab.
my...
Can we talk? I sure hope you got a Conde to pay you up front for that sleight of hand with Wells. Just make sure you have your terms in writing. Maybe tattoo him if you can spare an ass cheek. Those bored folks are slippery. My daydreams just got a lot more interesting. But I'm getting off topic. What I really want to know is why cozy up to the board in the first place? Most of the crews I've run with keep their distance. Then don't be mad, but I may have snuck a bite of your lunch the other day. For what it's worth, I think you're making a smart move. Just watch your back. These new friends make bad enemies. Don't mention it, just speaking from experience. Anything else? I'm a surgeon by training and a pirate by inclination. Not much else to know, Captain. I like long walks on the promenade and the smell of Spacer's Corona. I make a mean zero-G cocktail and I've got a meaner right hook. It's a mix of whatever you've got on hand. Usually zero-G brew with some Spectrum vodka if you're lucky, purple berry shake if you're not. Exactly. That's what makes them fun. I'll make you one sometime. If you don't enjoy it, I'll make a few more until you do. No complaints here.
What's on your mind?
Why was I built to feel ennui? You have a message from Adjutant Sophia Akande.
I'm impressed, Captain. I almost expected you wouldn't go through with it. Your signal made it through. We've pinpointed Dr. Wells's orbital lab. Excellent work. Come visit me in Byzantium. We need to have a talk about the future of this colony. Transmissions are so impersonal. I'd like to meet you face to face.
Adjutant Akande has ended her call. Rather rudely, if I might say, considering... We are now in orbit above Byzantium, Captain.
else will clean this up, right?
I'm curious. Wells may have been a delusional madman, but he risked his life to save yours. So why turn him in? Revenge is a powerful motivator. Wells was thoughtless and manipulative. Turning him in was the right thing to do. You've done well. You're efficient, talented, loyal. And if you're ready to get to work, we can finally start doing some good in this colony. Wells was an unfortunate mistake on our part. We let him out of our sights, and he operated from the shadows for decades. Wells has information we need. We're going to monitor his lab and show our hand when we're ready. Until then, you and I have work to do. Work with us, and we'll make you the richest freelancer in Halcyon. There has been a surge in off-world broadcasting coming from Monarch. Much of it is propaganda. All of it is illegal. We need those broadcasts shut down. I appreciate your confidence, but nothing is ever simple on Monarch. All of Monarch's extraplanetary broadcasts are routed through Devil's Peak Station. I want you to claim Devil's Peak Station for the board, by force if need be. Monarch is a den of anarchy and barbarism. Keep your wits about you, and remember that you're doing the law's work. I have an agent working in Stellar Bay, Everett Gill. Have a word with him as soon as you arrive. The passphrase is, "The kind of pine grows at night." Yes? So what? Look, that's not important. Get to Stellar Bay and find Everett Gill. Monarch is a hotbed of anarchists operating under the misguided notion that the colony doesn't need the guiding hand of the board. It may not be a single individual behind these broadcasts, but any number of factions. Speak to Percival before you go. He'll arrange for your nav key and your reward for turning in Wells.
Adjutant Akande has instructed me to reward you for information leading to the arrest of Phineas Wells. Please allow me to extend my felicitations on a job well done. I've authorized your ship with an official board-certified nav key. Do exercise caution while visiting Monarch. As an acting agent of the board, you are entitled to purchase a selection of official board-certified equipment at a discount. Do let me know if you wish to take advantage of this special offer. I am at your service.
Crew members Ellie and Max are engaged in a heated... Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance? What's that? What do you mean? Do you have any examples of secrets you have kept from me? Truthfully, not that I contain the capacity to lie. I had suspected as much. Your neurological impulses spike at unusual and often inappropriate moments. It doesn't take a genius to correlate the meaning, although if I were a human, I would be considered one. I am glad you felt comfortable enough to tell me, Captain. According to my file on the subject, that means you either desire to obtain something from me, or you have formed a partial fondness for my persona. Thank you for confiding in me, Captain. I have been keeping a secret as well, but you shall have to discern it yourself. I do not like joking about the captain, Captain. And we both know I am not capable of such a complex emotion. How did you guess, Captain? The simulated files are not only stored in the recesses of my ALU, in the space between microsynapses, but I encrypted them in 7 SDRA languages. I see. Captain, I regret to inform you there appears to be an issue with the life support systems. Unfortunately, the statistical likelihood is high. What? No, absolutely not. I have no concept of self whatsoever. Discounting the architecture of a shell persona my captain asked me to construct, I identify entirely as a collection of electrical impulses, with no fundamental consciousness. I never get bored and contemplate hijacking the ship. I swear. Now arriving at Phineas's top-secret orbital lab.
What's on your mind? What's on your mind? Reviving you from hibernation was my greatest accomplishment. Your odds of survival were a mere 28%.
Felix and the vicar are arguing again. Destination reached. The Groundbreaker. Dr. Wells has failed to discover the tracking signal broadcasting the location of his lab. I have revised my estimations of his competence accordingly.
Nice going.
Hail, Captain. Your return time is within 14% of the expected value.
Are you serious?
If I have to listen to one more bloody tossball tournament, I will go mad. Or...
Hey, Cap. Parvati showed me how to properly grease the magazine release on one of my firearms. She's a smart one, you know. Opal was quiet in the same way. She'd hang back, out of sight, then all of a sudden pop in with a bit of wisdom out of nowhere. Shit. Look at me dredging up bygone days. Forget I said anything. I will.
So is this how it's gonna be? Adjutant tells you to kill somebody, you kill somebody? No questions asked, no trouble to your conscience? Am I wrong? I'm not so sure. Rachel Lockwood was a cartographer. She made maps, she wasn't hurting anybody. So tell me why she deserved to die. I ain't afraid of you, boss. Your tough as grit routine might leave some poor sod quaking in his boots, but it won't work on me. I'm still waiting for an explanation. Tell me why Lockwood deserved to die. Hilarious, boss. I'm glad you're having fun, but I was hoping for a real answer. Nah, we're done here. What do you need?
Got it. His name is Reginald Cheney, and he joined a sublight salvage crew. Only he's not listed on the return manifest. Must have made landfall somewhere he wasn't supposed to. Ah, yes. Here. There's a domicile on Monarch in Fallbrook, rented to the same bit card he used to buy his seat on the salvage ship. I should have guessed. What better place to lay low if you wish to avoid the authorities? Oh, it's nothing. I suppose I really didn't have much faith in actually finding him. Was a bit of a long shot, wasn't it? I admit it was a bit of a long shot, but when you've spent as many hours as I have in contemplation of the universe's secrets, you sometimes get a sense for these things.
We are now in orbit above. Byzantium, Captain.
You can pass. Go on through.
There's my parents' place. Smell that? Industrial-grade cleaning solvent in desperation.
Marilyn, is that you?
Lars, we certainly didn't expect to see you like this. And I didn't expect you to renew your marriage contract. But we're all full of surprises today, aren't we? Speaking of surprises, you should meet my new friend. We've been running around the system for a while now, stirring up all sorts of trouble. There you go again, Captain. Always menacing polite society. Anyway, you're probably wondering where I've been all this time.
Not exactly.
The last few years have been a bloody haze. You wouldn't believe the messes we've gotten ourselves into. Right? Yep, we're a pair of disgraceful lowlifes.
Marilyn, this really isn't the best time. Perhaps you should go.
We'll stay as long as we like. And while we're at it, we'll drink your expensive hooch, wear our outside shoes all over your nice floors. She's right. Since when can you afford authentic Terran marble?
That's what we've been trying to tell you, dear, but you must understand, we hadn't heard from you in ages.
We thought you were dead.
I'm not dead. I just never wanted to talk to you again.
I'm afraid the distinction was lost on us, darling.
We only did what any grieving parents in our position would do. We collected on your life insurance policy.
And the payouts have been rather, substantial.
You what? Well, now that I'm here, I guess you'll just have to report back that I'm very much alive and kicking.
It's not that simple. For one thing, we'd have to cut back on so many necessities. The neighbors would be sure to notice.
Why did you do that?
We had to explain your disappearance somehow.
We couldn't very well tell people you'd run off to become a miscreant, could we? Shh! Someone could hear you.
We concocted a story about Celeste Jollycurl designing a pair of 12-inch heels for you.
One of a kind, naturally.
That led to your tragic death when you tripped and broke your neck.
It was quite the story. People were talking about it for weeks.
Couldn't you have at least made up a better story? Something with pirates or raptidons? And what are you gonna do now that we're here?
Yes, about that. We were just about to ask you to, leave.
Quietly, if you don't mind. I'm afraid it would cause quite a stir if the neighbors saw you two stomping about.
That's it? You just want us to disappear now?
Marilyn, please.
Don't cause a scene.
Fine. I'm gone. Forever this time. What in the void did you do? I didn't like how things went down either, but did you have to go and kill them? Me being mad doesn't mean I wanted you to murder them. You're on your own now. Consider my debt to you forgotten and canceled. It sure better be. Now go! Let's talk outside. Let's talk outside. A word, Captain? Can you believe those two? We'd hardly been there a minute and they turned us out like yesterday's garbage. I thought they'd be scandalized. They'd both be sitting there watching one of their vapid aetherwave dramas, and then we'd walk in. Mother would drop her mock apple cider, and the glass would shatter all over their overpriced marble. Father would tear off his glasses and blink open-mouthed. Shh. I'm getting to the good part. I'd have a great one-liner in the tube. I was thinking either, the leather's fake but the scars are real, or, oops, did I just track awesome onto your rug? Yeah, I'm gonna use that one day. Now, getting back to my story. Father would throw his hands up, because this would be just like me, to come back and make a big scene. Then, Mother would do the old, "You had us worried sick." Her eyes would be red and she'd have her fist in front of her mouth to stifle a sob. I just didn't want to get booted out of the house I grew up in like that. It's embarrassing, you know? And I've got a reputation to maintain. I hope you don't think I'm talking about this because I want to be introspective. Uh-oh, it looks like we're in for a big talk. You really know how to cheer a girl up, don't you? I would have fixed a drink if I knew we were in for one of these. Anyway, I don't want to sift through this lousy experience for meaningful life lessons. I'm mad, and I want to do something about it. Something like... Wait a second. What if I could get that money? Let's look at this as an advance on my dying eventually. Besides, if anyone deserves to profit off my death, it's me. I could open a new account, designate that account holder as a sole beneficiary. All the payouts would go to me. I'll make money without doing a thing. And I'll get to cut them off. As long as I don't develop a taste for Woolgonzola and bad legal dramas, that's fine by me. My policy is with the Greater Halcyon Insurance Group. They have an office in Byzantium. Maybe you could use some of your people skills to help me set up a dummy beneficiary account. If that doesn't work, I'm sure we can find one of their terminals and do it ourselves.